The main reason for high blood pressure is dehydration or an accumulation of plaque within the arteries. So, all throughout our body, we have all these amazing tubes of the cardiovascular system running through the body, and those tubes are carrying fluids as well as different cells, immune cells, red blood cells, other nutrients and blood plasma and hemoglobin and sugars and salts and all these types of things, minerals for the entire body. So a lot of times what happens is we get stressed, we get dehydrated. So if you can imagine, if I'm drinking 3 liters of water a day, this stuff right here, and if you have some, let's just do it real quick. Always a good reminder. If I drink this entire liter of water, my blood volume inside of my body, once it goes through my digestive system and absorbs, is 1 liter more. Okay, you can't compress water. So my blood volume inside of every little capillary, blood vessel, artery increases with the level of hydration, okay? And with the increase in hydration, there's less pressure required to push that blood through every nook and cranny of my body. It just makes sense, okay? So hydration is a key factor for high blood pressure. Now what happens is, we have damage to the arteries due to stress or due to the types of foods that we're consuming. And we have an increase in cholesterol. Cholesterol, we have HDL and LDL. These are called low density lipoproteins and high density lipoproteins. And it's really misunderstood. The whole system is really misunderstood. But in general, when we have a ratio that's out of whack, like high LDL and low HDL, it's showing us that there's damage happening to our arteries. And again, this can happen from a stressful lifestyle, being angry, being frustrated, from drinking alcohol, from smoking, from eating too much, trans fat and bad fats, and too much processed sugars and processed carbohydrates and all these types of things that create kind of an acidic condition within the body. We can have damage to the arterial walls. So keeping the blood volume is key for avoiding a heart attack, avoiding a stroke, and avoiding high blood pressure. And the stress is essentially causing, a little bit of stress inside of the arteries, or little tears or lesions, or an accumulation of actual fat. And so when you look at a blood test, you see high triglycerides and you see high LDL and low HDL. We know that there's an accumulation of this plaque that's starting to build up on the walls of the arteries, okay? And as that stuff's building up, it is harder for my body to get nutrients into the interstitial tissues. So if you can imagine, these are all hoses, and the hoses all have holes for the nutrients to go into all the cells. If I have an accumulation of this plaque that builds up, typically from bad fats and stress and toxins, then it's harder to get the nutrients into the interstitial tissues. So my body's like, okay, well, there's plaque on my arterial walls, so I need to pick up the pressure so that I can force these nutrients to go into the cells. So if I have high blood pressure, my body's essentially trying to get more nutrition into the cells. Whether I'm more active, or I just have more stress, or I have a level of plaque, there's many different factors that can cause high blood pressure. Adrenals can cause high blood pressure, so drinking too many caffeinated beverages, constantly running on adrenaline, and not having that balance of rest and relaxation. Okay, so we want to hydrate. We want to be able to relax. We want to eat good nutrition. And the way to really clear the plaque out of our arteries is whole foods. It is the antioxidants, it's the fibers, it's the phytonutrients inside of foods. One of the greatest ways to clear our arterial walls is called resveratrol, and it comes from grapes. Red grapes look like the red blood cells. There's something called grapeseed extract, which is a major blood cancer killer for leukemia and things like that. A lot of good science on it. But essentially nutrition in general. If I drink green juice, if I eat greens, if I eat vegetables, there's all these amazing phytonutrients. Whether you know the names of them or not is really besides the point. It's just about eating healthy food and cutting out the stuff that's actually causing the problem. And in cases of people that have really high blood pressure or problems, fasting is, in my opinion and through observation, the fastest way to heal. Okay, so you take anybody with high blood pressure, you put them on an extended water fast, and you're going to watch pretty much day after day, week after week, their blood pressure coming down, coming down, coming down. And you can pretty much watch it come down. And wherever you want it to stop, you can pretty much stop the fast, break it very slowly. Everybody's different too. Like some people can just break a fast and start, eating fresh fruits right away. Some people need to have just very small amounts. Even when it comes to juices, they might need to water it down and cut it by 50% water, 50% juice, and take it really slowly and see how their body reacts. So in the case with you, I think it was Amy, talking before, maybe taking that process really slow would have been probably really important. Hard to source grapes without the gross sulfites. Just do your best to find good organic grapes, period, and I wouldn't worry about it. When it comes to drinking wine and stuff like that, obviously there's potentially sulfites and things added, and I'm not really talking about getting it from that source. But sulfites are not bad. It's just concentrations and too much can become a problem. But especially things when they're concentrated and used as a preservative, that's really where it becomes a problem. But just coming in grapes and nature is not actually an issue. Okay? So, again, back to the 7 principles of health. Long walks every day and really having that level of balance, good digestion. I find most people that have high blood pressure also have a backed up colon. So again, colon cleansing, clearing out the digestive system, walking, looking at your adrenal health is important.